Ride the signal through the unknown. This is the cryptic current.
Can humans achieve immortality or not? If the mechanism of the human body is arranged in a sequence, but development, aging, illness, and then death, is there any way to modify this mechanism? With the increasingly advanced development of science and technology, humans always aim to research how to extend lifespan, how to reverse the aging of the body, or even the field of cryonics to preserve the body from decay, to wait for terminal illnesses or incurable cancers, to be treatable in the future, at which point patients will be revived. Since ancient times, emperors, those called the Son of Heaven, have also always sought the secret to immortality. So, has anyone succeeded or not? And if successful, how would it manifest? Today we will discuss the ultimate issue of humanity: immortality. Thank you for watching. Human aging, illness, and death are all related to it. The human body has about 40 to 60 trillion cells, divided into over 200 types. It can be said that at any time in the human body, some parts are undergoing cell division, renewing themselves. Different types of cells do not have the same number of divisions. For example, small intestine cells divide every 2 to 3 days. Taste bud cells of the tongue divide every 10 days. Epidermal cells divide about every 28 days. Biologists have also discovered the lifespan of each type of cell has a certain limit. When approaching this limit, no matter how good the nutrition or environment, it becomes useless. There is no way for cells to avoid decline and death. Let's take an example: fibroblasts used in the dermis layer to secrete collagen and elastin, forming collagen fibers and elastic fibers. In other words, this type of fibroblast produces collagen, elastic fibers, and the hyaluronic acid of the skin. The number of divisions of fibroblasts in different species also varies. Research shows that human body fibroblasts can divide up to 50 times. Mouse fibroblasts can only divide 18 times. Turtle fibroblasts can divide 110 times. Once cells stop dividing, related organs in the body will show aging and functional decline. Returning to the human body, simply put, the cell division of the body also has a limit. Beyond this number, the human body will age and die. So, at this point, everyone must be very curious. What factor determines the number of cell divisions? If we can extend the number of cell divisions, can we extend lifespan? Before cells divide, they replicate chromosomes, that is, copy DNA. Because the structural information of the human body is all stored in chromosomes, and chromosomes are composed of DNA segments. DNA is quite complex. In the DNA polymer molecule can contain millions of nucleotides linked together. On each nucleotide carries numerous different nucleobases. For example, in chromosome 1, the largest chromosome in human body cells, has up to 220 million different nucleobase pairs. These nucleobase pairs are arranged along the long DNA chain to form the genetic code. Therefore, each DNA is a complex genetic codebook. The information contained within is countless. On human body DNA, there are a total of 3 billion genetics. This is truly a huge number. Therefore, to complete such an accurate and delicate replication, when copying DNA, there must be many processes and error correction mechanisms to ensure the entire replication process is accurate. Once mutations occur during replication, this organism will mutate and become a monster. Moreover, the functional organs in the body cannot coordinate their activities smoothly, leading to early death. In summary, the consequences are very serious. The entire cell division process has been introduced in detail in high school biology. We won't repeat it, but we'll talk about content not covered in class. Scientists discovered that during DNA replication, wear and tear occurs. Like an eraser, writing once wears it down a bit, writing more shortens it further. Scientists used to be very troubled by this issue. Doesn't this cause loss of genetic information and major mutations in the body? Later, they finally decoded the mystery. And here, we need to introduce a new concept, telomere. The concept of telomere, let's not mention it in the time travel investigation video. Telomeres are repetitive sequences located at the ends of DNA that wear down during DNA replication. During cell division, telomeres function to prevent fusion, recombination, and chromosome degradation. In the human body, as cells continuously divide, telomeres gradually shorten. Cell culture research shows that when telomeres shorten to the point they can no longer protect chromosomes from damage, cells stop dividing or become unstable, eventually being replaced. It turns out, telomeres are like the candle of life. Once used up, life also runs out. American biologist Hayflick proposed the theory of cell division limit, called the Hayflick limit. He believed that human cells can only divide about 50 times. Here, someone raised a question as follows. Suppose a person lives to 90 years old when they're 30 years old. After telomeres have lost 1/3, they give birth to a child. This child inherits DNA from the father, meaning the telomeres are also worn down by 1/3. So does this mean the child can only live for 60 years? That is, relying on the remaining 2/3 of the father's telomeres to survive? If this continues, wouldn't human lifespan become increasingly shorter? Indeed, this is the wonder of life. Scientists later discovered an enzyme called telomerase, specifically used to repair and restore telomeres, ensuring they don't shorten when cells divide. This telomerase enzyme is usually highly active in human germ cells. It ensures telomeres are not depleted after germ cells divide. Therefore, a newborn baby has intact telomeres in somatic cells, or body cells, allowing the baby to develop and complete their life. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? If the telomerase enzyme works so effectively, couldn't it restore body cells, allowing them to divide infinitely and achieve immortality? Of course, this is just a beautiful vision. Scientists discovered that besides reproductive cells, stem cells, and some blood-forming cells, only one type of cell activates the telomerase enzyme, which is cancer cells. These cells no longer obey the body's control and divide infinitely, initially forming a tumor, then cancer cells spread. Ultimately, a person doesn't achieve immortality but dies quickly. Indeed, life is truly miraculous. Inside the human body, everything is very complex yet self-regulates subtly. Moreover, they coordinate miraculously closely to maintain the body. After understanding the aging mechanism of life, let's consider the topic of immortality. Among all known organisms, is there any immortal species? Actually, yes. In tropical seas, such as the Caribbean, there's a species called the immortal jellyfish or the Turritopsis thorni. It possesses the immortality that humans have always dreamed of. The immortal jellyfish is very small. Young jellyfish are only about 1 millimeter wide, and adults only about 5 millimeters. Why is it called the Turritopsis thorni? Because its body resembles a bell. Moreover, its entire body is transparent, allowing the red digestive system. Overall, it looks like a lighthouse, hence called the Turritopsis thorni. So how does this tiny creature achieve immortality? One day in 1992, a student caring for jellyfish at the University of Lecce, Italy, noticed something strange. In the tank, a group of young jellyfish appeared. Normally, jellyfish die immediately after reproducing, but this student couldn't find the body of that Turritopsis thorni. This phenomenon attracted researchers' attention. In 1996, Stefano Pereno, a biologist at the University of Lecce, conducted transformation induction experiments under different environmental conditions on 4,000 immortal jellyfish at various developmental stages. This research helped discover the superpower of the immortal jellyfish. That is, each month the immortal jellyfish rejuvenates once. Not only that, it can also clone multiple copies of those cells. Returning to the telomerase enzyme we mentioned earlier. Researchers found that the telomerase enzyme in immortal jellyfish cells is activated. Thanks to this, its cells can divide so many times, thereby achieving immortality. This species can live long-term, not die, and continuously reproduce. So why isn't our world overrun by immortal jellyfish? That's because immortal jellyfish are actually too small and easily preyed upon. They are often food for fish and sea turtles. So theoretically they can be immortal, but in reality, it's very hard to achieve. However, the living state of immortal jellyfish still makes scientists both happy and worried. They conduct deeper research on immortal jellyfish, hoping to find a method for human immortality from them. But so far, there hasn't been any breakthrough. Modern scientists discovered that the lifespan of mammals is 5 to 7 times their growth period. For example, a dog's growth period is 2 years, lifespan about 10 to 14 years. A horse's growth period is 5 years, lifespan 25 to 35 years. A human's growth period is 20 to 25 years. If calculated this way, human lifespan should be 100 to 175 years. In the Guinness Book of Records, the recognized longest living person so far is French woman Jeanne Calment. She was born in February 1875, died in 1997, living 122 years and 164 days. Historical records in both Eastern and Western countries also have many typical cases. In Europe, Count Saint-Germain is considered an immortal being. Many believe he was born around 1699. Between the 1740s to 1780s, Count Saint-Germain traveled across Europe with a 40-year-old appearance, almost unchanged for 40 years. There are no clear records of his birth, death, or background. He was regarded as a genius in music, politics, and alchemy. Although looking like 40, many believed he was at least 150 years old. He called himself Count Saint-Germain, others called him the man who never dies. This is the introduction to the documentary about Count Saint-Germain aired by the History Channel in the 1980s. This is a portrait of Saint-Germain painted by Nicholas Thomas in 1783, when he was said to be over 80 years old. Now displayed at the Louvre, Saint-Germain is believed to have died in 1874. However, many witnesses still claim to have seen him throughout the 19th and even the 20th century. Those who met him spoke of his extraordinary abilities, fluent in many languages, playing the violin like a master. A talented painter, deep knowledge of history, politics, and especially alchemy, turning metal into gold. He left behind a 96-page booklet Trace Saint Trinosophie, discussing extrasensory, intellectual, and spiritual issues. Chinese historical records note the longest-lived person named Chen Zheng, born in the Tang Dynasty, died in the Yuan Dynasty, living 443 years. His descendants all died before him. More recently, physician Li Qingyuan, also known as Li Qingyun, lived 256 years. Another notable case is in Japan. Farmer Manbei, born in 1602, lived 242 years. Just him, but his wife lived 221 years, son 196, daughter-in-law 193, grandson 151, grandson. If these records are true, the shortest lived in their family is the grandson's wife, far exceeding the current Guinness record. As speculated Manbei. Moreover, Manbei's lifespan was the highest, decreasing later, so some guess he had a longevity secret. Benefiting relatives and descendants, but after his death, the secret was lost. Immortality or eternal youth? This is always a topic of interest in seeking the formula for longevity. Many surely think of the story of Qin Shi Huang sending Xu Fu to sea to find the elixir of life. Historical records note in 219 BC, Qin Shi Huang sailed around the Shandong Peninsula and stayed there for 3 months. Then, he learned in the Bohai Bay there are 3 immortal mountains called Peng Lai, Fangjung, and Yingzhou. On these 3 immortal mountains are 3 immortals, holding the elixir of eternal youth. Emperor Qin Shi Huang then sent Xu Fu, leading thousands of boys and girls to find the elixir of life. As a result, Xu Fu never returned, and Qin Shi Huang never found the elixir. But also setting sail to find immortality, one person actually found it, that is Sun Wukong. In Journey to the West, Sun Wukong, seeking immortality, went to sea to find immortals and learn the way. As a result, he found Patriarch Bodhi at Lingkai Fangtai Mountain, cave of a slanting moon and 3 stars, and was freed from the cycle of life and death. Perhaps many regard Journey to the West as a mythical novel with many thrilling plots. However, many people believe that Journey to the West contains other profound meanings, including the path of cultivation. Ling Tai. Fang Kun. This means that to become an immortal, attain the way, and transcend life and death, one must turn inward to cultivate, nurture the heart and nature. Just like the place where Sun Wukong sought the way, and the entire journey to the western heaven to obtain scriptures is also the process of cultivating the heart and nature, eliminating demonic nature. In fact, the scriptures of world religions all present methods for achieving immortality. As the love in the Bible, compassion in Buddhism, or returning to the origin in Taoism, it. They all guide people to find the path back to heaven in different ways. And there are many successful examples in history. Historical records state that the ancestor of the Chinese people, the Yellow Emperor, traveled a long distance to Mount Kongdong and was fortunate to meet the immortal Wang Changzi to become his disciple and seek the way. Wang Changzi taught the Yellow Emperor the methods of the way, including how to value virtue and cultivate the spirit of nature. On the Yellow Emperor's 120th birthday, the sky was filled with radiance, and then a divine dragon appeared. Afterward, the Yellow Emperor rode the dragon, ascended to heaven in broad daylight, and transformed into an immortal to depart. Whether in the East or the West, such ancient stories of immortality are not rare. Various divine miracles also appear frequently. Therefore, instead of seeking hope for immortality in tiny single-celled organisms, why not seek divinity and goodness within ourselves? Actually, immortality is not something too distant and unattainable. What do you think? We sincerely hope you'll share your thoughts in the comment section below the video. Our sharing for today will stop here. If you found the video helpful, don't forget to share it with your friends to watch together. Thank you very much. Goodbye and see you again. Please subscribe to the Gi&Mi Go channel so you don't miss exciting videos.
If the signal hooked you, subscribe and catch the next ripple.